All right, well, we have something else to work on today, and that's the Bear Thoughts podcast. We do this every Friday at 5 o'clock, Central Time. Thank you for joining us today. As always, we have Corvo Ninja that direction because my camera's always reversed. And, myself, no Disability Stealthy, no other people. It's just the two of us, guys, just generally out. So be sure to hit the like button, subscribe button, share with all your family and friends. I would appreciate it. And let's get into it today.
All right, I'm checking audio.
All right. I'm a little hot. There we go. Yeah, better. Yes. It's like something about me talking, the dog get all ampy or get all antsy. It's just like when I start bringing my voice to streamer volumes.
I know the exact same.
It's like
All right, I'm just a smidge low, but I am audible.
Okay.
I know the same feeling. That damn little fluff thing that's in there in the living room.
Yeah.
I could speak, I can move in my chair, a child can walk through. It doesn't matter. Any motion, he's like a fucking motion and audio sensor. Like you can't move, you can't speak. Yeah. If you do, he goes off.
Well, to me, it's like I can talk in low whispers and just be just fine. I start singing or I start, doing my speaking from the chest like I do for streams. And they're like,
right.
He wants to sing to me. Like, no, I don't. I'm speaking from the diaphragm.
That's I'm projecting. I am projecting, dog. That means go away.
Yeah. And it's like, if I'm doing videos too, it's like, oh, Daddy, no, you're recording, right? Let me just like, no, go away. I love you, but right now, also anybody in the chat or anybody in the comments watching this video, tell me if this is you. And if anybody knows the answer to this, definitely tell me why. Why is it when I wake up, and I talked to this about Corvo, look, see, there she goes again. I talked about this with Corvo, like every time I wake up now, I don't like the loud noises. It just irritates me. And I really want to know why.
Oh no, I'm the same way. What's worse, what I hate, and I find this getting more and more irritated about it, is if I walk in the house from work, been gone all day, or I get up on a weekend or something, and the first thing I hear is, hey, can I have, or can you get me? That shit will drive me crazy. I'm like, bitch, I just woke up, or I just walked in the door. Stop.
Requests are denied until I get up. Of course, the same thing with my wife. Requests are denied until she gets her coffee.
Stealthy, I have to say, Stealthy has a very good approach to that. She wakes up, she's gonna stay in that bed for a while before she actually gets out of the bed.
Yeah.
Because she's gonna make damn sure she's mentally ready for the onslaught, right?
Yeah.
Me, I can't do that because things on me start hurting when I lay there too long. So I have to get up. And for some reason, if I step out of that doorway, that is instant. It's go time, baby. I need this. I need that. Can I get this? Can I have that? Can I watch this? Can I hold that? Can I... Stop.
Give me a moment to breathe. Contemplate one thing at a time.
Oh, shit. I'm not even completely coherent yet.
Yeah, I call it sleepy brain. Like, it sounds weird, but I call it sleepy brain. My wife calls it stupid brain. I'm not fully.
Bot Rix has correctly joined the channel.
I love it. The bot that helps me. My channel comes in after a while. But anyways, my brain is like slowly trying to like pick up everything. And if I wake up and my wife like hands me the keys, I head it right back to her going, I know I'm not mentally aware of what's around me right now to drive. You, on the other hand, can do it just fine. If you hand me the keys, I just woke up. I'm gonna go. No. You in a wreck? No? Okay, you try. Give me like 10 more minutes, maybe 30. Let me start firing these centos in my brain because I can multitask pretty dang good. I do it all the time. But right now, all that I'm doing is focusing is waking up.
And your synapses ain't even going good yet.
Yeah. And I don't really care for coffee. I found out that I don't really care for coffee. If you tell me a cup of coffee or a soda, I'll grab a soda every single time. I just don't like hot. I don't know. In the morning, my brain just doesn't like hot.
For me, it's like this. It depends on the temperature in the area I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
So like, if I get up and it's cold as shit outside, and I get to work and it's cold as shit in the room that I'm working in, I'm gonna go get some coffee or some hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Okay, one of the two. If I get up and it's comfortable outside and it's comfortable in there, I don't want hot. I want cold at that point. Give me something cold. So that's how that works for me. So I'll drink more coffee and cocoa during the fall and winter months and drink more soda or iced tea or something during the rest of the year.
You'd be surprised how many people actually don't know that iced tea is actually caffeinated.
Yeah, people don't realize that tea has caffeine in it. It
always amazes
boggles
me.
my mind because I'm like, okay, so you didn't know there was caffeine in tea? And they're like, no. I'm like, you ever been in the store buying tea? Yeah. I was like, you ever notice there's tea that says non-caffeinated tea? They wouldn't sell a non-caffeinated tea if regular fucking tea didn't have caffeine in it.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, oh, that makes sense. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's kind of like the reason why some people are going, you know, why does coffee not work on you? Because I've been drinking tea my entire life. Tea was like our beverage in the morning, our beverage in the evening, a beverage at night, and you're wondering why you're still awake. Stop drinking the tea. Stop.
When I was a kid,
it's caffeinated.
When I was a kid, there was hardly any soda in my house.
Mm-hmm.
We had lemonade,
Same.
Kool-Aid, and sweet tea.
Yep.
And milk. That's it. That's what you got. And guess
That was
which
your
one
choice.
got made? Guess which one got made more often? Sweet
Tea.
tea.
Yeah.
Why? Because everybody in the house drank the tea.
Mhm.
Everybody. So I drank a shitload of sweet tea growing up. Oh my God.
Yeah. And especially when people like going sweet tea. I'm like, Jesus, that's a South thing. I didn't know that was a South thing. I came from the South. Everybody like, no, you sound like a Northern. Nope, I was born and raised in Louisiana, Mississippi. I am South as South the border can get. If I go any South, I would have touched the New Mexico, New Mexico Island.
It's like Stealthy. Stealthy doesn't do cold tea.
He doesn't?
She does not.
Huh.
She does not. Hot tea, she will beat your ass over a cup of hot tea. She wants some. She loves hot tea. She does not like iced tea. She doesn't.
Again, it's a Southern thing, or at least the Southern America. Sweet, cold iced tea with a little bit of lemon. A little bit of lemon. Just, you know, for those who are sophisticated.
Look, you gotta twist it though when you put it in. You get.
Yeah. Then you get a little pulp in there.
I
And you suck that up.
always love those people that are like, they get their glass of sweet tea and it's got the little wedge on the edge, right?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, this is so great. I can taste the lemon. Like, bitch, you ain't even put the lemon in it. It's on the side of the glass.
You smell it. That's all you do. Squeeze it, dang it, squeeze it.
You go to a restaurant and tell a real person that drinks iced tea that likes a little lemon in it, because as soon as that shit comes out there, you see them pick the wedge up and drop it in the cup and start stirring.
Yep. Or squeeze it and throw it in there.
Squeezing.
Yeah. So, okay. But yeah, speaking of my childhood, it's like, I was wondering this past week, and I was thinking to myself this, and I don't know why I was thinking to myself. It's just mostly because like how my mental is nowadays about jobs, and I was thinking to myself, like, when did I start working? Like, what was my first job ever? And I remember my first job was at 14 years old, and I know the cliche. People say, "Oh, you were cutting lawns." No. I was just cutting lawns. I was doing it with a professional company, an actual company.
Yeah.
Doing
one of those companies that had the trailers with all the lawnmowers and weed eaters and leaf blowers. Yes.
Yeah, and then
lawn care service.
And then I was cutting logs with a machine that could easily cut up my arm if I was just between the machine and. Yeah, but it was like this direction. So if you flop it down in there, and the machine would come in and
you
crush
can do it both ways.
So if my arm was in that machine, my arm was going right. There was no stopping it if I was like, what's this? And there was no supervision. So I was working in the state of Mississippi, not legal, doing that stuff. But the guy, I remember him so much. He was a bald-headed person, looked like Mario if he was straight up bald. Looked like just like Mario, and he had a home. They were literally just like a big aluminum car garage, really large. Went inside of his house. His wife is just a sweet woman. Loves her. She was a great woman. But it was completely empty, no walls except for the bathroom area. Everything else was wide open. But dude showed us his bank account. He literally had $1 million. Mind you, this was $1 million back in 2000 and 2005, 2004 timeline when $1 million actually was something. But $1 million in his bank account, and he's like, I ain't ever gonna touch it. That's my money. I earn it. It's staying that way. He was greedy, but guy was also a bit of a perv. Like literally a real life perv. I'm not gonna go into details, but let's say he saw some of my friends and he had to choose a few choice words, and I'm like, bro, I'm 14. What do you think she is? Right? But yeah, I 14 years old. I've been working, and ever since then, I've always been a cook. And I'm like, I will never work in a cook industry ever again. I thought that before. I will never work in a cook industry again. But yeah, what was your first job?
So, my first job, I was 8.
You were 8. Okay.
I was 8. We had a lot of farms around where I grew up.
All right.
A shitload of them. So you would have peanut farms, corn, tobacco, all kinds of stuff. In one of the major tobacco farms around here, my dad knew the guy that run the work crew.
Okay.
I got hired at 8 to be the guy that hangs the tobacco in the barn.
Interesting. Hang the
Because
tobacco.
I was small, I was light, so getting up into the top of the barn and navigating and hanging was easier for me. However, the downside is if you've never been in a tobacco barn, or at least back then the way they did it, and never hung tobacco, you don't realize the amount of tobacco tar that is everywhere. And I do mean everywhere, on the rafters, on the purlins, on the joists, on the tobacco rods you're hanging it with, on the ladder that you might have used to get up to the upper decks, everywhere.
Okay.
So they would make you wear long sleeve shirts, long pants, with your socks pulled over the bottom of your pants to seal them.
Okay.
And you were in the top of a barn in the middle of the fucking year, and it was hot. Because if you didn't, you would come out covered in tar and have to have every piece of hair on you shaved off just to get the shit out.
Oof, that had to have been uncomfortable.
It was, but I made a shitload of decent money from the time I was 8. I think I did that from 8 until I was 15. When I turned 15, I went to work. It was my first public facing job. My mom signed for me to be able to work at 15 so I could leave school early.
Yeah.
At like 2 o'clock, and I'd work at a Winn-Dixie.
I haven't heard of Winn-Dixie in a long time.
I worked at a Winn-Dixie for a couple of years, and it was a very interesting situation because this store didn't close for shit. When I say it didn't close, we got a hurricane warning one time. The fucking store didn't close.
Yep.
I was in the parking lot getting buggies into the store while hell force rain and wind and everything else is blowing because we didn't close. So yeah, that was definitely an interesting situation. Now, mind you, these are all my jobs that I got paid by a company or by the owner of a major farming system or something for. But while all of this is going on, I'm also working for our family farm.
Yeah.
And understand that our family farm did everything from running cows, breeding horses, turkeys, chickens, stocking pond with fish. We also built all the homes on the farm.
Yeah, it sounds like a big old Amish family.
We did.
Everybody works on the farm.
We did everything. So what did you do after the wood cutting?
My first legitimate job afterwards was a gas station with a little had a little fry station inside of it, and my family at the time was like, they knew I enjoyed making snacks. I enjoyed cooking desserts. That was like my thing. Like if I was to cook something, I enjoyed cooking two things: desserts and pizzas. That was my two things. And they're going, well, you should become a cook when you get older. I'm like, okay, maybe I will. Bad choice. So my first job was at a gas station, in the back room, in a fry station or whatever, and I would fry food for the little convenience store shopping area for, like, you know, passing by customers or truckers,
right.
Stuff like that. And I was that cook. I got fired. I've told you the story before, and I don't know if I told you the story before, but I got fired from my job because after a while, they wanted to give me a different position. You know, like, okay, you're okay, fry cook. Let's get you another spot, and then became the stock boy. And I stocked everything in the store, but a few things, because no one ever bought it. Right? No one ever bought some of these items, so I never had to stock them. So guess what? I never knew where they were. I didn't know we even had them. And I've always said this is the weirdest thing I've ever heard in a gas station for me. And to this day, every time I go to a gas station and I go inside, I see they have it. They never have this. So I was stalking one day, and a customer comes up to me and goes, sir, do you know what a cat food is? And I look at her and I go, as a teenager kid, probably not the best response to go, I don't know. And she looks at me, gets angry, looks down, and straight at the cat food and points it out. I'm going, wait, this is a freaking setup. And I still think to this day it was a setup, because it was literally at her fucking feet.
If you come to one of our gas stations down here, I guarantee you at least 1 out of 3 will have cat and dog food in it.
That is so weird. Like, can you not go to the local?
You want me to tell you which ones will have it?
Why? Okay.
The 24-hour truck stops will have it.
Ours was not 24 hours.
The reason being, well, down here, ours, the ones that do are, and the reason being is a lot of these truck drivers or retired people that are taking their RV across, they're traveling with their pets.
Mm-hmm.
Stores might not be open to buy cat food or dog food, so they're smart. They'll have some there.
Like our store was not a 24. I was like a 12-hour store. We shut it down at a certain time. The woman was dressed like she just got out of church. I still remember her to this day because she made such a negative impact on me. And of course she was furious. She was like the embodiment of a Karen back in 2000s. And it was literally by her feet. Literally by her freaking feet. And that got me fired. All because I didn't know what the cat food was. Of all things to get fired for, cat food. At a gas station that was not 24 hours. And there were a bunch of other stores that you could have went to go get you some cat food at a better price, almost guaranteed, than a gas station for cat food. But I think they were just looking for a reason to get rid of me. And they just had someone come in knowing I did not know where everything was to have a plausible reason to get rid of me. They were just like, I was a teenager kid.
It's possible.
But I was a teenager kid. They already had one old guy that was a stalker, a stock boy, and he worked pretty much every single day I did not work. but he wanted to work more. I knew he wanted to work more. He told me he wanted to work more, but you know, they had to give me hours because I was an employee there. And the person that they were having me replacing for, she was on vacation and they needed somebody to take over her spot, so they hired me. But after a while, I was like, well, she's back more. We can just keep her in the back. So he was looking for a reason to get rid of me. Only time that my family stood up for me was after that, because I said this story before. My stepdad, when we went up there to return my t-shirt and get my paycheck, they wanted to go with them because they had a few choice words for some of the people there. And while we were getting my paycheck, my stepdad went to the bathroom, and let's just say he relieved himself in the bathroom.
Yep.
As much as he could, as many places he could. And then did tell us about it, and then we just left, and then told us about us on the ride home. So, and of course, he was a little bit inebriated. So that's the only time that I've ever heard them ever stick up for me in that matter of going, you know what, you're going to do this kind of book? There we go, have fun.
All right, so my next job, I got you one right here.
Okay.
Movie gallery.
Movie gallery. See, that's something I've always wanted to work at.
I was a manager at a movie gallery. I started out just basic. Put the movies on the shelf, unbox the movies when they came in, rotate the movies out when it was time. And somehow or another, I ended up being a manager on duty for MOD for a movie gallery. And I'm going to tell you, as far as the job goes, it was a fun job. But I ended up leaving there because of an accusation.
Mm-hmm.
So we had at movie gallery at the time, if you were an employee there, they don't just send you movies. That's not how that shit works.
Okay.
They don't just go, hey, these are the new movies coming out. Here you go. Put these up. They tell you when the movies are coming out and stuff, but back then you had to know your clientele. So you would put in an order saying, hey, I need 5 copies of this movie, 4 copies of this movie, you know, and you shelved them accordingly when they came in. Well, part of the perk of working there was if you're one of those people that collected movies, you got a discount.
Yeah.
So you could have a manager or manager on duty order the movie for you, apply the store discount. It comes in, you pay for it, whatever is owed, right?
Yeah.
It's your movie. Well, we had an employee there that at the time was bad about ordering movies, but not ever picking them up.
Okay. Wait, he spent money on them too?
Well, no. They placed the order. You didn't spend the money until they got there.
So
because you had to ring the shit up at the register to pay for it.
Okay.
So we had an employee there that was bad about doing that, and it got to a point where I had a stack of fucking movies that was ordered for the store, and the store pays that money up front to get it.
Yeah.
And then you pay the store. Motherfucker wasn't buying the movies. Well, I figured out what was going on by realizing that I come in one morning and noticed that these brand new movies nobody had paid for had been opened. What was happening was he would have the store order a movie. During his shift, he would pop it open, take it home, watch it, bring it back, put it back in the case. And say, oh, I don't have the money to buy it.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I don't have the money to buy it. Well, we can't return something that's been opened.
Yeah.
So now I can't return the movie. We're taking a hit profit-wise. I realized that every one of these movies was ordered by the same person. So I pulled them to the side one day and said, hey, I'm going to have to let you know that I can't order any more movies for you. None of the other managers are going to either. We can't do it because you're not paying for the movies when they get here. That is coming out of the store's profit margin. They're sitting back there and they've been being opened by somebody. I couldn't say who because I didn't have proof.
Yeah.
And once they're opened, we can't return them to recoup that money. Well, rocks on around. He talks to the actual store manager one day while I'm off.
Okay.
He tells the store manager that he had just been a little behind on getting some money, but he was getting his money together to pay for his movies, but he noticed that the movies he'd ordered had been opened, and then accused me of opening his movies.
Mm-hmm.
And accused me of stealing his movies that he had not even paid for. Well, of course, I knew the manager. So she called me in one day, we talked about it, and I told her what was happening. And she said, well, I have no proof technically that it wasn't you, and I have no proof technically it wasn't him. I don't know who did what for sure. It's your word against his word.
Yeah.
She said, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this stack of movies and I'm going to add up how much money's here. And I'm going to split it, and you're going to pay for half of them, he's going to pay for half of them. I said, no, fuck, I'm not. She said, well, yeah, we kind of got to recoup this money. I said, no, I'm not paying for shit that I didn't do or order. Yeah. I didn't order these movies. Every movie that I've ever had ordered, I had you order, so it didn't look like I was ordering it without permission.
Yeah.
And I've always made sure you were here and I paid you for them.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for shit that he's not paying for. So that's how that went down. And I said, you know what? The best thing for me to do is to say, thank you for the opportunity. I'm going to move on to a different place of employment. Have a nice day. And I left her the keys to the store and I left. And then I come back 2 days later to drop off, my uniforms and shit. And she gives me my last paycheck. And then I see her about 6 months after that. And she tells me, we realized that you weren't the one doing it when it continued to happen after you left. I was like, I tried to tell you that. She's like, well, we'd be more than happy to give you your position back with a higher rate of pay. If you would consider coming back. And I was like, If you couldn't take my word as an honest person, then I'm not going to work for you now, because how do I know this shit ain't going to come up again and you're not going to believe me again?
Yeah, well, that's a prime example. They always say, like, manager, you should trust the manager word over an employee's word. That's the example of why they always do that. It's like, oh yeah, because he's the manager, they're going to take his word. And I don't think that's right to do that, but you're an example of why they do that. But at the same time, it's like, I know managers that has literally screwed me over and straight face lied, and then but you, whatever. I've been trained, and I've told this before, but I've been trained. I was at RTC for 4 years, right? I've been trained to be a leader for many years. Could have joined the military, could have had a higher pay, but that was during the Iraq, war after 9/11. And my mom was not about to let me go doing that. And I've been trained 5 or 6 times, different jobs, to be managers at several different locations, and I've never been a manager. But hearing that kind of stuff, like, there's no way in hell that I personally would have put up with that and been like, yeah, I'll keep the job. Oh yeah, take it out of my paycheck. Yeah, that'd be fine. No, it's one thing to say that you're supposed to be a leader, to take the responsibility of your employees, but it's another thing to have your employees bite into your paycheck.
Right.
Like, that is, and then come back afterwards going, yeah, we know we were wrong. You should have found a different way of discovering what the problem was. Like, there should have been a better way of doing it, other than just cameras back then, because I know cameras back then weren't very highly used. There should have been some way of noticing, even in the front lobby areas, the guy coming to the store, grabbing the movies and going into the back. Like, they should have saw that on cameras. They should have. Even back then, the cameras weren't that great, but they should have seen the guy walk into the store, grab movies, walk back. Why would he do that?
They didn't even have cameras in the store back then.
When was this? Like, what generation of like time would you say, like timeline? Like
This was late 90s.
late 90s? Yeah, cameras back then were probably trash. Still, or better yet, anytime that he was in a store, there had to be another employee in the store, so have an eyewitness. I don't know, something to give a.
And you know, I get it. Like I said, I've thought about all that too, but you know, it is what it is. All right.
Yeah.
Next
All right.
job.
Okay, so my next job was another restaurant because, well, I couldn't get out of the restaurant industry because every time I would try to, it didn't very much pan out. I believe, let me see. Okay, next job was, what was my next job? It was another place of cooking, that's for sure. I went to college, right? Not long afterwards, so I was focused on college. Oh, Pizza Hut. I was a delivery boy. And I absolutely wanted this job because I wanted to work in pizza because I want to make pizza. Like I said, I like pizza. But they didn't have a position for pizza boy. They only had a position for delivery boy. And I lived in this town majority of my entire life. And I was literally on my first delivery, which went bad because I'd never been to this part of, like, I know the town, but I never knew the name of streets because, well, I didn't need to know the streets because I knew where everything was. I just like name of streets. Why would I know where everything is? I can figure out where that is, no problem. And then of course I can get it any street. I don't know. So I was on my way after delivering the pizza, and it was partially sprinkling outside. It was slightly wet, right? The roads was a little bit damp, and there was this car, 2 cars ahead of me, and it decided to turn left, going down a road, no blinkers, no brakes, just like a sharp left. It wasn't like but like he went quickly to the left. Like he was almost planning it with no brake, he just kind of whipped in there, right? Well, the woman in front of me panicked. She panicked so much, she didn't just brake slightly and then kept on going. She full stopped. And then stay stopped. So I come up on her. I try to brake. From her brake, her stopping and not stopping and going because she had plenty of time, because she panicked. I turned my car all the way to the right, and the side of my vehicle, my tail light hit the side of her vehicle. Well, of course she comes out. Oh, my back, my back. I'm like, bitch, I barely even tapped you. Even the cop that made it to this place said technically it was her fault for stopping and then staying halted in a busy lane. But since it was a statewide law, it was my fault. And of course, immediately they fired me. On the day I first got my first delivery. So it was a very short run. And I still remember that woman too. She probably like sued Domino's, probably was the one that let go of me or had some kind of lawsuit because she was so faking it. It was such bullshit. My tail light was the only thing was broken, and all that on the side of her vehicle was a little, not even a fender bender. It was just like a scrape. And I turned my vehicle sharp too.
I can see that. So let's see. After I did movie gallery. Oh yeah. That was when my public facing construction career started. So
oh yeah.
I did sheetrock work, I did paint work, I did construction for houses, and then eventually ended up me and a friend of mine having a licensed roofing business that we started.
Okay.
And we did that during you remember 1999, a bunch of tornadoes hit down here.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were running a roofing crew when that happened. So
Good time.
for 2 years, we made stupid amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, stupid. Like, we only worked 4 days a week.
Yeah.
We'd work 12 hours a day for 4 days a week, and we was off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we were pulling in shitloads of money.
Oh
And
yeah,
the problem,
roofing is bank.
the problem was I was too young to know what the fuck to do with all that money. So I would do stupid shit like we'd all go to the bowling alley 2 nights out of the weekend and get lit and bowl all damn night. Well, shit, I just pissed away half a paycheck.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know no better. I wish I had, because I would have been in a lot better shape right now fiscally. And then after that, it was industrial electrical work. I was a licensed industrial electrician. So I wired shit like industrial complexes with heavy transformers, and I would set up PLC and motor control systems for hydraulically activated systems for baling cotton, or I would set up a photo cell switch system that would operate certain things, or a timer system, or I did all of that. And while I was doing all that, we were doing land clearing on the side for my grandfather because he had retired.
Yeah.
So I was doing that during the day. And in the afternoons until dark, we were clearing land, or we would get contracts where we go hair up fire breaks throughout places so they could, during burn season, they could burn off. We dug a couple of ponds for people, cleared some lots for people to build their homes, put in some driveways and road systems for people. Yeah, did all that while going to college for computer sciences.
Well, you had to go to schools for the electronic, right? Or
I did that too. I did that. I did a year. Okay, so in a year and a half, I got my industrial, commercial, residential, DC, and PLC motor controls. All of those. Got them all.
Okay.
In a year and a half. It was supposed to take 2 years. I did it in a year and a half. I still have the damn books.
There's a college actually not that far from where I live right now that actually has across the campus from it, like a whole fenced-in, I wouldn't say yard, but a whole fenced-in piece of land with a bunch of electric poles. Just wooden poles, just going up to it with a little bit of circuit breakers up top and stuff like that, where the college, I guess, teaches people how to be electrician and do power poles.
That's
and
for linemen, yeah.
Yeah, every
That's
now and then
linemen.
you see people go out up there and they'll go up the poles and like work on some things up there. And I'm like, that's kind of cool. Like they actually have like it's not just like, hey, we'll teach you about it. Here's a book. No. We're gonna go outside. We're gonna go up that pole and you're about to fix some stuff.
Even for us, if it wasn't pole related, we had our classroom had a mock house in it. That's for cool. You to do residential wiring in it. We had a lab area that was set up for you to write programs for PLCs.
Yeah.
Upload them and actually watch them function, because we had limit switches, pneumatic switches, indicator lights, miniature motors, and all that stuff all on there, so you could see if it was doing what it was supposed to do in the program. We had a transformer lab, which was the most dangerous fucking place in the entire classroom.
Yeah.
Because you fuck up with a transformer, you might not be getting back up ever again.
Gotcha. And then let's see, my next job, I did a little bit of roofing with my friend, my best friend Michael Guerrero back in high school. Talked to him multiple times. Every single time I was trying to get work from him, it was always like it's raining outside. Cause back down in Mississippi, it's raining pretty much all year long. And my wife didn't believe me, like how much I told her how much it rains in Mississippi and how long it rains for, until I brought it down from Mississippi. It rains a lot, and I do mean a lot, and it rains often, and sometimes on weeks on end. There's like not a day that it will not be raining in Mississippi. And doing roofing for him, first ever doing tile roofing, which sucked. You know, putting down the tar mat or down the tar sheet, then putting down, cutting and pulling and bringing up by arm the tile up to the ceiling, placing it, stapling it, trying to do that. Remember the first one we were trying to do, like the house was always raining and they had a tarp on their house for days and weeks because every time we're like, we're gonna go out there, bro. Like when we're gonna go out, it's like it's forecast to rain, man. We can't do it today. It's forecast to rain. It's raining. I'm like, God dang it! By the time I got paid, I didn't even want the money. It's like I don't even care. I got the money eventually, but like, geez, it took forever. And he was working for another company, so the job decided to let him take on an operation by himself. And he's like, would you mind helping me? Yeah, I'll do it. How much? And good money doing that. But man, first time doing roofing, my back did not like me at all. I didn't know no tricks. I just went, I pick up stuff, put on roof. Okay, I could do that. No, it's not that simple. Then I did little drywalls here and there. I helped out my stepdad once or twice, a couple of spots, cleaning up the area, picking up needles, picking up wood, removing that.
Did you ever put shingles?
Shingles?
Just literal shingles. Did you ever take them up on a roof?
No, we never got the shingles. The only roofing I've ever done was, like I said, the tile and metal roofing. That was my two.
When you say tile, describe the tile to me.
Kind of long, flat, and heavy.
Okay, did it have like 3 little grooves in it?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. I'm going to send you a picture because what you call tile may be what I'm calling shingles.
Gotcha. And I also did the other kind. What's the other kind? The flat flexi kind?
Yeah. Shingles. Hang on.
Stop. But yeah, I did roofing and then then I did drywalling here and there. That wasn't very much anything to it. I didn't like that. Did not like drywalling at all. And then of course my family started building their house, but I didn't really do much anything in that one at all. Let's see. Painting a place is fine. I'm okay with painting a place. I just don't want to spackle or paper drywall and paint them ever. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's shingles. Those are shingles.
I don't know why I call them tiles.
It's okay, but how many could you tote up a ladder? How many bundles?
At least if I was feeling frisky that day and stupid, 3. But if I was well aware of myself, 1.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you a little story about your boy when he was cock strong and stupid.
Yeah.
So when we're running our roofing crew, I would throw 3 bundles on one shoulder and 2 on the other.
How would you?
And I'd walk up the ladder.
Yeah, stupid was the right word. I needed one arm. One arm had to be on that ladder.
I would do that. I would do that until the entire pallet was up there at the top ridge crown of the house, and nobody else had to go back down to get them.
And did you have a spot man? Never had a spot man either.
I didn't have time for a spot man. They got to be nailing shit.
Oh, you're crazy. That's so... Like, I probably could have done that too, but there's no way.
We would take the extension ladder, and I would let it out as far as it could go, and I'd lean it at such an angle that I could throw them and walk up that bitch. Throw them down on the top of the roof, go back down, and that shit right there caused me to have a mild heat stroke.
I bet. That sounds so bad.
We were doing a job one time, and this house was sitting by a lake, and it had absolutely no trees around it. None. The family was gone for 2 weeks on vacation while we did this. They had the water to the house turned off, so we wouldn't use their water and run their water bill up. So we're working, and our policy then was by 10:30 we were stopping because it was starting to get hot. And we were going to take a few hours for lunch, whatever, until the sun got on the other side of lunch, you know, and it started going down some. Then we go back to work. That way nobody got too hot. Well, while we were sitting and eating lunch under this, a friend of mine had a old Astro van.
Yeah.
And on the side of it, he had mounted one of those canopies like you do on a freaking RV.
Yeah, yeah.
So he had pulled it out. We were all sitting under it, under shade by the van, eating. And fucking delivery finally showed up of a pallet of shingles we had ordered. Well, everybody else was sitting there eating. This particular site, I was running it. My buddy was at a different site running his because we had two crews. I ran a crew and he ran a crew.
Yeah.
Unless the house was so big that it required both crews, we weren't at the same job site.
So you were the foreman on that job site.
I was the foreman on that job site. That's the way we did it because we split the business directly down the middle. Well, I'm not going to make my guys stop eating or whatever. It's hot as shit. You know, I've already eaten because I'm trained by my grandfather to eat in like Mach 10 because we got to get back to work.
Yeah.
So I've eaten, down me a bottle of water or two. They come up and deliver it, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah, we get these shingles up to the top. We can get this job knocked out by the end of the day, you know?
Yes.
We'll be good. We can move on to another job. Everybody gets a good payday. They're all eating, so I jump my ass up and down the ladder, up and down the ladder, up and down the ladder. Now, it is 108 degrees in the shade.
People think, oh, it used to never be hot back then. Yes, it was.
That last 3 bundles that I throw down on there, I remember lifting them off my shoulder and dropping them on the top of the house. I remember seeing my feet, and then I remember waking up in an ice cold tub of ice. Because apparently I dropped right then, rolled off the roof, landed in the damn bushes beside the house.
Lucky.
Everybody there is freaking the fuck out because my guys, they don't know what to do. They don't know. So they call my friend. Now this guy was my absolutely best friend back then.
Okay.
We grew up, went through similar things, losing a parent together, all that good stuff. So we was tight. I mean, he spent more time at my house than he did his house.
Okay.
So they call him and they're like, Brian, he's out, dude. He passed the fuck out, rolled off the roof. We can't get him to wake up. They said they didn't even get the fucking phone hung up good. And they look on the other side of the lake where he's at his house on the other side of the lake. This bitch jumped in the dude's boat whose house he's working on and scattered across the fucking lake.
My boat now. Bye.
Jumps out, grabs me, throws my ass in the van, tells the guys, keep working. I'll be back.
Yeah.
Drives me to the house. My mom, registered CNA, nursing school, all this good shit. He cuts her out there. She sees me, realizes what's going on. Knows my temperature has to go down. Has to.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, have you ever woke up in a tub of ice?
Hell no.
let me tell you something. There are parts of your body that you will have to rediscover weeks later because it ain't coming back. It ain't come out.
You betrayed me, motherfucker.
I woke up and I swear to Jesus, I have never been that cold in my life. But the moral to that story is, guys, in your 20s, you feel like you could do any fucking thing. Guess what? You fucking can't.
And you shouldn't. You should. Like the Bob, you should.
Now, what was worse is at this point, Brian had went back to the job sites. Now he's managing both job sites. Well, you know, you can imagine I'm a little bit stubborn.
You got up and tried to go back, didn't you?
So I got my ass up and got dressed because I felt fine and drove back to the job site. And now only a real friend will do this shit to you. You'll know exactly what I mean when I say this shit. Because if you had been there, you'd have done the same shit. I know you would have.
Okay.
He sees me pull up. I get out and I'm like, all right, guys, I'm back. I'm sorry about that. The next thing I know, I'm picking myself up off the ground because this bitch has hit me square in my fucking jaw. The fuck are you doing? I'm like,
I don't need 2 concussions today. Thank you very much.
Like, you fucking moron. Like, he said, all right, I know that you're too damn stubborn for me to make you go home, but you see that fucking canopy over there? Park it over there. I'll let you run this job site, but if Tony tells me that you move from that fucking chair, I'm coming back, and you are not in the shape to take me today. Understand? I'm like, oh, goddamn. So I spent all day sitting down there going, yeah, that looks pretty good, guys. No, that was a little crooked. Y'all need some more? I get no. Okay. I remember sitting there thinking, I wonder if this is what my grandfather feels like every time I'm doing some shit for him. No, like that. No, listen to me.
Okay, here's a question for you, because I knew a fella back in I was younger that literally was like a machine gun with nails and a hammer.
Yep.
You had that guy that goes dum 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 dum. I'm like, fuck, dude. Yeah, I was like, I hit my. You hear me go thump, thump, ow, thump.
No,
thump,
my grandfather taught me how to do that shit.
It was always like one hit too. It was like the second thump was always like hitting the wood to get the bounce or something to keep the rhythm. Like bump 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 bump. I'm like, why do you do that? Like, to keep the rhythm. I'm like, you playing the fucking drums?
Well, the trick is you get a handful of roofing tacks in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to learn to feel them in your hand, because you would roll one over every time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the rhythm is you tap, hit, tap, hit, tap, hit. The tap gives you time to roll in this hand.
Uh-huh.
So it would be tap, hit, tap, hit, tap, hit, tap, hit, tap, hit, tap, hit, tap, hit.
I was like, fuck. And they were doing with roofing needles or roofing nails too. It wasn't it wasn't the ring and a nail. It was literally like just the big old wide top nail that they were like doing with the hand and boop, 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 boop. I'm like, fuck. Nope.
Now I will tell you, I did fuck up one time when I was learning to do that shit, and that is why I never fucked up again. I have a scar on my thumb that runs from here out through the end of my thumb. The reason for that is I fucked up and didn't roll a nail right. And the edge of the head of that nail was right there.
Uh-huh.
So when I hit it, it split my thumb open.
Gee. Yeah, I would remember that too. I've hit my nail plenty of times.
I remember that one because my grandfather was actually teaching me to roll the roofing tacks at the time. And I had been doing it pretty good for about 45 minutes to an hour, right?
Yeah.
So he had went on about his business doing his side, and I was getting it on, son. Well, I fucked up, missed, and did that shit. Well, I ain't got no sense. I'm kind of stupid when I'm young.
Yeah.
So I look at it and I'm like, well, shit, I don't want Granddad to know what I did, right? So I take and wrap some shit around it, and I just keep going, right?
Yeah.
My grandfather comes walking up to see me, and he's like, look, is all this blood coming from? I got blood all over these fucking shingles. Where the fuck are this blood coming from? Because we're laying shingles on his mama's house, on my great-grandmother's house. So he wasn't really concerned that there was blood on him. It was more like, where the fuck is it coming from?
Yeah.
You know? So he gets to following the trail and walks up right behind me. He says, is there something you want to tell me? No, sir. He said, are you lying to me? I was like, No, Granddad, I ain't got no reason to lie to you. He said, son, there's a fucking bloody trail halfway this roof. What the hell did you do? So I held up my thumb, and I don't think I've ever seen him get that mad at me before. He said, what the hell are you doing? Carry your ass down that goddamn ladder and get that scene about you, freaking idiot. He said, you go up here and bleed out on me on the damn roof in the middle of the damn summer? He said, you are an idiot. So I go downstairs into my great-grandma's house. She sees it, tells my cousin to take me to the bathroom, clean it out with some peroxide so we can bandage it up.
Yeah.
Well, my great-grandmama, she was old school, so she still had that alcohol that come in the same color bottle as the peroxide. My cousin don't like to read fucking labels. So we rinsed it out with a little bit of warm water, which hurt like hell anyway. Yeah. And he goes, okay, I got the peroxide. Are you ready? I'm like, I hold my thumb over it. I was like, yeah, go ahead. He dumped a half a bottle of fucking alcohol in my open wound.
That's bourbon. That's bourbon.
I beat the shit out of him upside that damn wall in that damn place, son. I was throwing hands. By the time we got through cleaning it and wrapping it up and I got back outside, my grandfather looked at my cousin. He's like, what the hell happened to you? He's like, you were fine when you went down there. He said, I grabbed alcohol instead of peroxide. And he looked at me, he looked at him, he said, you a dumbass.
Runs in the family, right?
So we up here now we laying shingles and all you can hear out of me is ow my hand, and him going, fuck, my head hurts. Oh, my grandfather's going, I feel fine.
But yeah, after that I did a couple little I guess you could call carpeting. I did metal roofing. I cooked at a couple places.
Fucking carpeting. I hate doing flooring with a passion.
But then I also framework with some other friends of mine. And then finally did a factory job, which I worked for 2 years. Did great job there. Made great money, and I got fired when I finally found that I finally had asthma of all things, and something about the hot environment that I was right next to the ovens, and that one chemical spill that we still don't know to this day may have had me become asthmatic. Should have sued, but we didn't know because, our what's it called when you have like people there that support the workers? What's that called?
HR.
Or not HR. No. I'm talking about like they're a group of
union
people.
Rep?
Union
Rep?
Because the union didn't decide to want to fight for me, even though I was paying my dues and I was a part of the union. They didn't decide to go, well, why did you get asthma? How did you get asthma?
Said. Only ever had jobs for being.
Only had 3 jobs for being 33. Yeah, I had a lot of jobs and a lot of positions. Like I worked at 4 different restaurants.
I wish I'd have had only 3 jobs.
Yeah, 4 different restaurants that I was like 3 of them I was trained to be a manager and then got the position taken away from me. And then I was supposed to be a manager at another location. I forget where it was, but yeah, I've been trained to be a manager so many times and never got the position. So, that's my illustrious working career. And then I went, you know what? I've been bullied. Mostly every single job I've ever worked at, and I do mean mostly every single job I've worked at, I've been bullied in some ways. You think you won't be bullied at your job? Yes, you will. If you're a person that is prone to be bullied, you will be bullied at your job. It's just like high school. I swear to freaking God. Drama. I've been death threatened at 2 of my jobs. And if anybody knows me, I'm not a mean person. I'm not a vindictive person. I'm the nicest person you probably ever meet. Swear it. But I've been death threatened by people because I would smile at them and try to, laugh it off, or I try to, de-escalate things, and people just don't take that too kindly. So yeah, I just say, my wife decided to go, you're doing what you're enjoying now, which is streaming. I love it to death, but I don't make money, so it's just part of life. If you want to make money, you have to actually have a job. Oh, great, more of that stuff.
Yeah, well, things happen, shit happens. I will tell you though, the most enjoyable job I probably ever had when I was the tech resource for the college library.
Mm-hmm.
While I was in college, I loved that job. It was quiet, and unless something really really bad happened, there wasn't a whole lot that you had to do other than keep shit updated, keep it working, help people get their their formats for their papers or whatever set up. Well, once a year we had a time where we had to go around and check all the tech and find out if it needed to be updated for to keep it up to date for the students, and if so, write out what the budget needed to be able to obtain what we needed. And then more often than not, we usually got that approved. And then about 3 or 4 months after that, I would have to spend about a month putting in all the new tech.
Yeah.
So I only really had about probably 2.5 months of heavy work each year. And then the rest of the time it was just maintaining the equipment and making sure that the students that were coming in to use the library's resources could do what they needed to do.
Gotcha. All right. Well, we spent the whole hour talking about jobs, so I guess we're gonna have to hold off the Disney talk. But I do want to say this though, real quick. If anybody out there that you like musicals, right?
Yeah.
We grew up on musicals as kids. There's this one. It's a TikTok group to start off, but they're getting on YouTube now, and it's called The Epic. I'm gonna post one of the videos here in the Discord for you to listen to. It's a full musical with no visuals, all audio. So it's an audio book musical. And they're telling a story, and it's like Poseidon and Greek mythology and some of the stories like that. And the songs that go with this are absolutely awesome, and the story that goes along with it. I haven't had the chance to find the entire catalog of songs to hear the entire story, but I heard one of it just yesterday, and I'm like in love with it now. It's freaking awesome. So if you might as well check it out. I'm gonna play a snippet of it here for the podcast. So
Pride is a damsel in distress.
I know you can't hear it, but the music for it's just so banger.
Said. Bangers.
Oh yeah, bangers.
Trial she cannot to confess.
So yeah, that's it. That's a little part right there. So check that out if you want to check it out. Be sure to. We do not know. I will tell this now. I haven't said anything in Discord just yet. Stealthy does not know if she wants to do D&D tonight. Not because she's feeling bad, but because we are close to ending this area, and she thinks that we need everybody. And since Dazzling won't be able to show up tonight, we might cancel it. So stay tuned for those who are here. And if you do not see me go live during that, we might go live playing some Paladins. I don't know. We gotta get Celtic Computer up to date so we can play some Marvel Rivals, because that game's so much fun. I'm having so much fun playing that, I'm not gonna lie. So be safe too, but if you go check that out, it's called Epic. And if you want to look up the entire thing, I think is the Epic the Musical. If you want to check that out, it's on YouTube. They have several different videos where
Said. Okay, no biggies.
there we go. Stop that. That's from Marvel Rivals. So go check that out. I think it's awesome. I love it, and I got emotional when I listened to a couple of the songs, and one of the songs.
Yes, Marvel.
Got it so funny. I know you like Marvels, but Celtic Computer can handle Marvels, so that's why I'll play with her, play some Paladins, because her computer's having problems playing with it. We don't know why. So, okay, anything else you want to announce or say something? Cool?
No, I'm good. If you give me a few minutes after we end, I'll go find out from her whether she thinks we can do D&D or whether she's wants to do Paladins, and then I'll let you know.
All right, I'm gonna make me some food, so I'll talk to you later. As always, have a good day, have a good night, have a good life. Much love, y'all. Bye. Boop.